Welcome back to another chilling episode of Fact Fusion. Tonight, I'm going to take you deep into the cold forests of Vermont, USA, where an innocent hiking trip turned into a terrifying encounter with the unknown. So sit back, turn off the lights, and prepare yourself for this true horror story. It was the winter of 2012. A young couple, Ethan and Sarah, both students from Boston, decided to escape the city's chaos for a quiet weekend in Vermont. Their plan was simple: hiking, some photography, and enjoying the untouched beauty of the snowy wilderness. But what started as a peaceful getaway turned into a nightmare. On the second day of their trip, while exploring the forest near Green Mountain National Forest, heavy snowfall forced them off the marked trail. Desperate to find shelter, they stumbled upon an old wooden house hidden behind dense trees. The house looked abandoned, broken windows, rotting walls, and an eerie silence. They had no choice. It was getting dark, and the temperature was dropping fast. Inside, the house smelled of mold and decay. Furniture was still there, but covered in thick dust, as if someone had left in a hurry long ago. In one of the rooms, Sarah found an old photo album on the floor. The pictures showed a family, a man, a woman, and two small children, all smiling. But the last few pages were strange. The photos were torn, and one of them had the words scratched onto it: "They never left." That night, as the storm raged outside, Ethan was woken by strange whispers. At first, he thought it was the wind, but the voice was too clear, and it was calling his name. "Ethan, get out before it's too late." He woke Sarah, but she heard nothing. As the hours passed, the sounds grew louder: footsteps on the wooden floor, doors creaking open and shut on their own, and cold drafts coming from nowhere. At around 3:13 a.m., the bedroom door slammed shut. The temperature dropped so suddenly their breath turned to visible fog. Then came the final horror. Standing in the corner of the room was the shadow of a man, tall, motionless, with glowing pale eyes. Sarah, frozen in fear, couldn't move. Ethan tried to switch on his phone's flashlight, but the battery was completely drained, even though it was fully charged just hours earlier. The shadow began to move closer. In a last act of panic, Ethan grabbed Sarah and rushed out of the room. The front door, which had been jammed earlier, was wide open. They ran into the freezing forest, not looking back even once. The next morning, a search team found them wandering on a roadside, frostbitten and in shock. When locals heard their story, they were not surprised. The house had a dark past. In 1973, the family living there had mysteriously disappeared during a winter storm. Their bodies were never found. Since then, hikers reported hearing whispers in that area, and anyone who entered the house would feel like they were being watched. Ethan and Sarah never spoke about that night again. And the house, it still stands there, waiting for its next visitors. So would you dare to enter that house if you ever visit Vermont? Sometimes the scariest things are not ghosts, but the feeling of being watched when no one is there. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more real horror encounters. Until next time, stay safe and stay away from the dark.